boys and girls. Welcome one more time to What Penn is Saying. You know, I don't like to waste your time out there because y'all are busy people. You got stuff to do. So sit down for a few minutes, go grab your sandwich, bag of chips, and a cool beverage you're choosing, and sit down for a few minutes and watch What Penn is Saying. Like, comment, and share these videos, and watch the whole thing. You don't want to miss nothing. You might miss something. You never know. Thank you for watching, and God bless you. So, I think I'm going to go back to giving you a little inspiration on Wednesdays. Something about giving inspiration on Wednesdays that I kind of like. So, I'm going to go back to that. So here is the Wednesday inspirational video. Let me give you, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to be coming from the Bible, of course. I'm going to give you the Bible verse, and I'm going to give you my subject. So the verse that will be coming from is one of my favorites. It's Matthew 5, chapter 5, verse 16. And it says, "Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven." So that is, once again, that is Matthew chapter 5, verse 16. So the name of the video and the title, the subject of the video is Stop Dimming Your Light. Stop dimming your light. Now, it just told you, now that was Jesus talking to his disciples right there. Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven. See, a lot of times, y'all, we dim our own light. See, Jesus Christ is the light, right? He's the way, the truth, and the life, but he's also the light of the world. Correct? Correct. So, when we take up the banner of Christ, the light is shining. But a lot of times what we like to do, because sometimes people feel embarrassed about being a Christian. They think, because sometimes, when you were a certain way or when you ran with a certain crowd and then you give your life to Christ, they kind of want to look down on you, and you kind of dim your light. But you got to continue to live. You got to continue to, if this change is taking place and you love the change that is taking place and you love the direction that your life is going. Again, it's about loving yourself, like I told you before. But if you love the way your life is going, you love the direction that it's going in, and you're comfortable in your own skin, then stop dimming your light. Stop letting people make you feel bad about who you are. And then on top of that, you also have to continue to work. You got to put some work in, y'all. See, people think sometimes you give your life to Christ and everything is hunky-dory. No, work start, y'all. You know why work start? Because let me tell you something. The devil didn't like you before. Now you talking about Jesus Christ? Oh, he really don't like you. So he will do everything in his power to dim your light. So what are some things that he likes to do to dim your light? See, the devil, let me tell you how he works. Let me tell you how this joker works. He like to get in your mind, because when things get in your mind, let me tell you something, how powerful and how persuasive and how your mind can be changed. The mind is very powerful. So once something gets in here, it's hard to get it out. So once he gets in here and starts attacking your confidence and letting you know, oh, they're gonna look at you a different way, you'll think about that thing. But then you got to let him know, hey, you know what? You just mad because you was in heaven and you got to take over and you got thrown out. So now you want to mess me up. Nah, not so. Get on out of here. And you got to talk to him like that. And let your light shine. Let your light shine. Now, when we talking about that light, and it's talking about, the verse is talking about your works, what you do. Your works, it's not always about working per se. It is about how you act. It is about how you are. Because let me tell you something. It's easy to let your light shine when you're in church and there's other lights around you. All y'all can shine together. But let me tell you something. Sometimes you on your job, it's dark. And sometimes you're the only light in there. But let me tell you something about darkness and light. Where darkness is, wherever darkness is and light come in, there ain't no more darkness. Think about when you go out. Like we went out yesterday and we came back home and it was dark and I forgot to cut the light on. So when I pulled up in the yard, the house was dark, but the headlights from my truck shone on the house. No, now the house is no longer dark. So it let me see to open the door and cut the lights on in the house. It was dark in the house. When I cut on the light, the darkness went away. So wherever you go, it's going to be dark. Let me tell you something. Again, and let me say this too. Sometimes there's darkness in the church. Yeah, it is. But even if darkness is in the church, if your light is truly shining and you're doing what you're supposed to do, because let me tell you something. No matter where you go, you're going to see that light somewhere. No matter who you talk to. And it's how people carry themselves. And when I talk about the work, yeah. Because again, it's easy to be in church and you a usher or you a trustee or whatever, and it's easy. But what about when you outside that church? What about the light then? See, you dim your own light because you worried about what people are gonna say about you. Let me give you some advice. The thing you worry about people are gonna say, what people are gonna say, they already saying it. Let me say that again. The thing you worry about what people are gonna say, they already saying it or already have said it. Or they're gonna say it. If you think for 1 minute you're gonna stop you from talking bad about you just because you give it out to Christ, you are sadly mistaken. But don't let that stop you. Don't let that stop you from shining your light. And it's not a matter of bringing attention to your light, because once they see it, it's going to bring attention all to itself. See, when it's talking about let your light so shine, it ain't talking about putting lights over your head saying I'm a Christian and I'm better than you, because being a Christian is not about being better than nobody. So that's how you dim your own light. You get overconfident. And then some people get it out to Christ and pretend like they ain't do nothing wrong. Now, if you was cool with somebody and y'all were doing drugs together, and then this person gets saved and then they act like they don't know you, they dimming their light. Because they can see the change in you, and that might draw them in. Your light or how you carry yourself might draw them in. But you so worried about, you done got you turned to super Christian. I've never done wrong. Already you done messed up. You dimming your own light by being overconfident, by lying about what actually happened. Now, there are some things happen, and you want to put that in the sea of forgetfulness. That's great. But God puts it in the sea of forgetfulness for you. But other people remember what you have done. And it's not about making them feel bad about what they have done, but it's about letting them know that I made a change for the better. You can too. But in letting your light shine, you got to let them know. Because everybody ain't equipped to go in a crack house and preach. Everybody ain't equipped to do that. So you have to do what you're best equipped to do. And God gives you the tools to do the best that you can do with what ministry you have. Because everybody, when you give your life to Christ, everybody's got a ministry. Everybody's got a ministry. You may not be a minister. You may not be a pastor. You may not be a reverend. You may not be an apostle. You may not be an evangelist. But you have a ministry. Sometimes some people's ministry is their baking. Some people's ministry is their poetry. Some people's ministry is just being kind, having a kind word. But whatever it is, you have a ministry. And in that ministry is how you let your light shine. It's not about always preaching to people. Because I'm here to tell you, sorry to say this, Christians, people don't want to be preached to all the time. So sometimes letting your light shine is just talking to them, having a conversation with them. You may not even be talking about Christ, but you just talking to them and acknowledging that they're just a human being is letting your light shine. Because you have, some people get on their holy high horse and they figure they're up here. Do you know that Jesus had to let people know, I come to get the sinners to repentance? And people were mad at him. Well, what about me? I'm doing my life right. I haven't forgotten about you. But I come to talk to the sinners. I come to talk to them, to get them to repentance. And people got mad at that. So now understand that sometimes you have to remove yourself from a situation. I get that. But don't be up here acting like you so much better because you're giving your life to Christ. No, you're not that so much better, because let me tell you something. You one sin away from being back a sinner. Let me say that again. You one sin away from being back a sinner. You one sin away. And in God's eyes, sin is sin. See, we like to separate stuff and say, you know what, that wasn't that bad. You know, that's real bad. That wasn't that bad. In God's eyes, sin is sin. So that's why don't get up on your holy high horse and act like you're so much better than people. See, you dim your own light doing that. You're not so much better. because you one sin away from being that person. You one sin away from being back that whoremonger. You one sin away from being back to that backbiter. You one sin away from being back to that liar, to that adulterer. You one sin away. So let your light shine so that others may see your works. And when they see your works, they see in God's work. And then that's how God's gonna get the glory. But you gotta put some work in and do some things. So stop dimming your light, because the light is bright. Stop dimming your light because the light is right. Stop dimming your light. Stop dimming your light. Why do you like to do that? Dimming your light, scared about what people gonna think. The thing again, just like I said before, you're scared about what people gonna think. Guess what? The thing you scared about what they gonna think, they already thinking it. The thing you worry about what they gonna say, they already are saying it, or they have said it, or they gonna say it. You never stop that. But what you can do is let your light shine. Go about your business, and then you be going about God's business. Once you go about that, then the people gonna see what they're gonna see. Let me tell you something. The streets gonna see what they're gonna see. They're gonna see whether you true about this life or you false about it. Your works is gonna show them. And again, your works is not always work per se, like a job. Your work is how you talk to people. Your work is how you act in crisis. Your work is what you say. Your work is what you say. Your work is how you treat people. Your work, let me tell you something, your greatest work gonna be when they see you in church versus to where they see you out of church. That's gonna be your greatest work, because as I said before, some people don't like when I say it. I'm gonna say it anyway. You can go to church and fake it. Let me tell you something, the devil can get in the pulpit and preach a sermon. But guess what? What's going to happen when you get outside those four walls? Are you still going to maintain that level of Christ in you? Because you can maintain it in the church. But when you get outside those four walls, you get on your job, and somebody says something crazy to you, how you going to act? You going to start cussing and fussing and kicking up dust? Or are you still going to maintain the light? Don't dim your light by worrying about what others think or what others say. Don't dim your light about things like that, because guess what? When you let your light shine, and when it shines, and people will know. There will be no doubt about it. But when you fake, that will show, and will be no doubt about that either. So you better be real with this light. Be real with this light, because it's going to show. The truth is always going to show, and the truth is the light, and the light is Jesus. So let your light shine so that others may see your works. But you're not doing it necessarily for others. You're doing it for the glory of God. At least I hope you are. I hope you are. Because sometimes you do it to please people and it don't work out in your favor all the time. But if you do things that's pleasing in God's sight, it's always going to work out in your favor. Trust me, I know. I've been there. It's always going to work out in your favor. So let your light shine so that others may see your works. Let your light shine so that others may see your works and glorify your Father which is in heaven. I'm telling you, man, it's real stuff. I know people. I know. I understand. People are going to be people. People are going to talk trash about you no matter what you do. So you might as well enjoy what you do and get fulfillment out of what you do. And when you talk about living a life for Christ, live the life for Christ. Live it despite what they're going to say, because they're going to say what they're going to say. But if they know it's true and it's real, they're going to be like, man, that dude is awesome, man. And she all right, man. She all right. People who are not saved going to see it. And they're going to be like, you know what? And they will defend you. If they see you somewhere you ain't got no business, they be like, hey, you don't need to be here. They will look out for you. I'm telling you, this thing is crazy, man. It's crazy when you let your light shine. When you let your light shine and you don't dim your light by foolishness. It's crazy how that works. You'll be amazed when you let your light shine so that others may see your works, which will glorify your Father in heaven. You will be amazed how things turn out in your favor when you let your light shine. Don't dim your light over foolishness. Don't dim your light over worrying about what people think or say. This right here is the most dangerous weapon ever created. No gun or no knife, no tank, no nuclear weapon is more dangerous than the human mouth. And what comes out of it can be deadly, especially when it's somebody that you respect and you love and they say something, it wrecks your whole psyche. So let your light shine so that everything you do, Christ is involved. And you're not out there, you don't have to tell nobody. Again, you don't have to shout it out. You don't have to say nothing. You don't have to say nothing. The best example I can give you is my wife. We started dating and I looked at her and instantly saw Jesus. She didn't have to say a word. Now she's beautiful and all that. And I mean all that. But the first thing I noticed about her was Jesus Christ. I just looked at her and you could tell. She don't have to say nothing. And y'all bragging on my wife, y'all be all right. I just looked at her and I knew Jesus Christ. And from that, it made me undim my light. So that's the best example I can give you. She never once had to tell me she was saved. Never once had to tell me about Jesus Christ. Just looking at her. Just looking at her. And then when you be around her, it's like really evident. Let your light shine so that others may see your works, which will glorify your Father which is in heaven. Now what Jesus told to his disciples, and that's me talking to you. Stop dimming your light. Thank you for watching. God bless you.